thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with President Kagame. We have had tremendous discussions on Rwanda. The job they've done is absolutely terrific. We have trade with Rwanda and just general, I would say, great relationships. I want to congratulate you, Mr. President, as being the new head of the African Union. That's a great honor. This was just announced recently, and that really truly is a great honor. So please give my regards. I know you're going to your first meeting very shortly, and please give my warmest regards. But it's an honor to have you as a friend. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, it was a great honor to meet the President of the United States, President Donald Trump, and we had good discussions on those two levels, the bilateral relations between Rwanda and the United States. Rwanda has benefited tremendously from the support of the United States in many areas where it is in peace support operations we have carried out in different parts of the world. We had the United States on our side supporting us. They have supported our economy in trade, investment. We see a lot of tourists from the United States, visitors coming to Rwanda. And President, I wanted to thank you for the support we have received from you, personally, and the administration. And we are looking forward to also working with the United States at the level of the African Union, where we are carrying out reforms at the African Union so that we get our act together to do the right things, and that helps in cooperating with the United States. It would be more beneficial when we are organized to know what we want from the United States.
Sure.
For that cooperation, so I thank you very much.
Well, I thank you very much, and it's a great honor to have all of you here. And
wow, in a surprising and powerful move, Rwanda has agreed to accept up to 250 deportees from the United States of America, not with rejection, but with dignity, opportunity, and hope. So, family, friends, fellow Africans, let us now dive deep into this interesting story from Rwanda.
In this episode, we explore one of the most surprising and powerful international agreements of the year: Rwanda's decision to accept deportees from the United States, not as a dumping ground, but as a place of second chances. This is the story of how Africa is stepping up, not because it has to, but because it chooses to. Rwanda entered into an agreement with the United States to receive up to 250 deportees, individuals who had been ordered to leave U.S. soil, many of whom were deemed to have entered illegally. But this isn't just a transactional deal. It's a bold humanitarian move rooted in intentional support and dignity. Under the deal, every deportee will undergo thorough vetting before arriving in Rwanda. Once cleared, they won't just be left to fend for themselves. Rwanda has committed to providing housing, healthcare, and vocational training to help each person rebuild their life from the ground up. In a world where migration stories often end in tragedy, Rwanda is offering a rare alternative: hope. The United States, for its part, will provide financial support to assist Rwanda in the resettlement process. Though the exact figures remain undisclosed, sources confirm that this is not a token gesture. It's a serious investment in human rehabilitation and regional cooperation. The deportees being considered for resettlement are not just faceless statistics. These are individuals, men and women, many of whom fled poverty, violence, or instability in search of safety. Some are undocumented immigrants with criminal records, while others are simply people who overstayed their visas or crossed borders illegally. But here's the twist. Instead of being sent back to war-torn or unsafe home countries, they're being offered a new beginning in Rwanda, a country that, just 30 years ago, was on the brink of collapse, but has since become a beacon of peace and progress. Why Rwanda? Because Rwanda understands what it means to rebuild. Because it sees the humanity behind every label. And because it believes that with the right support, even the most broken lives can be restored. This isn't the first time Rwanda has made bold humanitarian moves. In the past decade, the country has quietly positioned itself as a leader in refugee resettlement and peacekeeping across the continent. Rwanda has previously accepted African migrants stranded in Libya under life-threatening conditions. It has worked closely
We'll
with
speak for a
United
little bit
Nations and
longer,
African
and thank you
Union to
very much.
provide
Thank you for
temporary
being-
shelter, medical aid, and even long-term housing to people in need, often without demanding recognition or fanfare. At home, Rwanda has pioneered community health programs, gender equity policies, and digital innovation hubs that are transforming lives. Its capital, Kigali, is now considered one of the safest and cleanest cities in Africa. This resettlement deal with the U.S. is just the latest example of Rwanda's growing reputation. A small nation with a big vision, determined to lead with purpose and principle. This deal is more than just about deportees. It's a signal to the world that Africa is no longer just reacting to global events. It's shaping them. Rwanda is showing that African nations can be partners in global affairs, not passive recipients of aid or orders. By stepping into a role many larger nations would avoid, Rwanda is showing courage, compassion, and competence, the hallmarks of real leadership. This move also challenges old assumptions. For decades, Western countries viewed African nations as unstable, poor, or unprepared. Now, Rwanda is flipping the narrative, creating opportunity where others saw burden and restoring dignity where others saw rejection. It's a bold step, and it's setting a powerful precedent, not just for Rwanda, but for the entire continent. Of course, the deal hasn't come without criticism. Some human rights groups have raised concerns about transparency in the treatment of deportees once they arrive. Others worry that accepting individuals labeled as criminals could pose risks to local communities. There are also questions about sovereignty. Is Rwanda taking on problems that aren't its own? Is the financial support from the U.S. enough to truly support the initiative long-term? These are valid concerns, and Rwanda will need to navigate them carefully. But it's worth noting, Rwanda has a track record of turning potential crises into opportunities. It has done so before, and many believe it can do so again, with transparency, structure, and compassion. Rwanda's deal with the U.S. comes at a time when Africa is stepping more confidently onto the global stage. Whether it's in climate talks, tech innovation, peacekeeping, or trade, African nations are beginning to act with unified purpose and clarity. This story isn't just about migration. It's about agency, about choosing to lead rather than be led, about Africa claiming its seat at the table, not as a guest, but as a host with something valuable to offer. The rest of the world is watching, and many are surprised. But for Africans, this is simply what progress looks like. What Rwanda is doing isn't easy. It's risky. It's unconventional. But it's also visionary. In accepting deportees that others have cast aside, Rwanda is sending a powerful message that every person deserves dignity, a chance to grow, and a place to call home. This isn't about weakness. It's about strength, the kind that uplifts, that heals, that builds. And it's exactly the kind of leadership Africa, and the world, needs more of. If you believe Africa is rising, if you believe in second chances, if you believe in a future built on hope, not fear, then this story is yours. Subscribe to Make Africa Great for more inspiring stories that are changing the narrative of Africa, one video at a time.
Yes, welcome back, family, friends, fellow Africans. What is your thought on this decision made by the president of Rwanda, President Paul Kagame, to accept these deportees from United States of America? You must understand, these deportees are from African countries. Some are from Nigeria, some are from Senegal, South Africa. So President Kagame has accepted to receive deportees from the United States of America. Each individual will be vetted before entering the country, and once approved will receive housing, healthcare, and skills training. Rwanda is showing the world that true leadership and humanity looks like turning a global crisis into a chance for empowerment, with the United States of America continuing efforts to deport undocumented individuals, including some labeled the worst of the worst. Rwanda has stepped up, not for profit but for purpose. While the United States of America will provide financial assistance for the program, the exact amount remain undisclosed. This agreement is more than diplomatic deal. It is a new chapter on how Africa can lead with value. In this video, we are going to share our thoughts on why President Kagame is accepting this deal. Of course, I know some have criticizing this deal. Some are saying that Kagame is working with US for human trafficking. But no, what Kagame is doing, we have seen for many years that Africans have been taken abroad in other countries, working for free. But this time, Kagame has taken this opportunity to welcome this manpower that will work for industries at in Rwanda. You know, these people are not maybe worst people or are not robbers or are not maybe terrorists. These are undocumented Africans that are in the United States of America. So some are coming from our countries. Some are from Senegal, some are from Nigeria, some are from South Africa and other African countries. But President Kagame has accepted fellow Africans to come and stay in Rwanda. And these people have skills, some have technologies. So President Kagame wants to use their skills for developing Rwanda. For many years, we have seen Africans with the skills, Africans with knowledge being used in Europe. They go to Europe as immigrants, but when they reach to Europe or America, they use their knowledge for the benefit of other continent, or for Americans and for America and Europe or Asia sometimes. But this time, President Kagame has said, "You're African. Let us come back home, because Rwanda is your home, your second home. Use your knowledge, use your skills, and develop our African continent from Rwanda." And that's what Kagame is doing. So to those who have been criticizing and thinking maybe President Kagame is engaging in human trafficking, no. Don't confuse. These Africans are undocumented. They entered into America without proper document. So President Trump is trying to take them back to their to the home continent. So President Kagame has accepted. Some have already arrived in Eswatini, and some will be in Rwanda, and some are also have been sent to South Sudan. But the good thing that we need to use Africans instead of jailing fellow Africans into prisons in United States of America. We can bring them back home. We can accept them and use here, because these people are not useless. They are not empty-headed. They have knowledge. They have skills, and we need their skills, and that's what Kagame is trying to do. He's trying to exploit knowledge and skills from these people so that they can help Rwanda to step up and to develop. And that's why President Kagame has accepting. We have these things we call brain drain. We have seen Africans being taken from our motherland to other continents or to other countries. This time, President Kagame has said, no, you can come back home. Why you are suffering in the US? Why you are being locked into prisons? You are being suffering there. You can come back home and do something for the better of this continent. So to those who thought that maybe President Kagame is engaging in human trafficking, of course, I saw even President and Commander-in-Chief of Economic Freedom Fighters, Mr. Julius Malema, lamented when President Kagame accepting the same deal, or the deal that looks like this, when UK deported some from Libya, but Kagame accepted them by saying, these are Africans, these are our fellow Africans. They are not empty-headed. They have something, so we can get something from them. Instead of these people suffering into prisons, being detained in Europe, in America, we can welcome them back home, because we believe these people have something to offer. And that's why President Kagame as accepting. So family, friends, fellow Africans, if you have something to share with us, please, you may do so through the comment section. Please share with us your opinions. Of course, I know some have been becoming hungry. I know some of our Africans thought maybe Kagame is long. Of course, you are true, and you are right, because that's how you think. But I'm trying to express and to explain what is behind this deal. Yes, there are those who thought maybe Kagame is receiving money by this deal. Of course, it's true, but the aim is to bring back home our fellow Africans instead of left them into prisons, into US prisons. We can bring them back home and we can use them for the development of our continent. But some may ask why they are not returning back to their home countries. That is the big question that I've been receiving when I have discussing with my fellow brothers and sisters about these issues. Some asked why they are not, if they are Nigerians, why they are not taken back to Nigeria. If they are maybe South Africans, why they are not taken back to South Africa. You know, this is Africa. We are Africans. They will come to Kigali, to Rwanda. Then they will, as time goes, they will go back to their home country. I hope they will go back to their home country. But you know, these people, they left their homes. They didn't maybe telling anyone. They find ways to go to Europe. And of course, they can come back to Nigeria and then they can go back to Europe, because their mentality and they thought that the only way for them to succeed is to go to Europe or to go to America. That's how Africans we are designed. So I think if they will come back to Rwanda and other African countries, maybe they will be trained and they will feel that they're at home, and they will start thinking that there's no need for them to run away from this continent, and they can do better even here in the continent of Africa, not only in their home countries, but even in the brother and sister country in the continent of Africa. So after that, I have no more to share, my dear lovely family. If you have something to share with us, please do so through the comment section. And you may share this video to other Africans. If you're new in this platform, make sure that you subscribe to join the big family of Making Africa Great, because this is a place where we come together as Africa to share our thought, ideas on how we can build the better future for our mother continent, Africa. After that, I have no more. Let me say one thing: stay in power. See you next time in another video. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa.